Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy, and today we're going to unbox a 3 3/4 inch Black Series. This is Ponda Baba, so let's go cut this guy loose. Alright everybody, here we are today with a 3 3/4 inch Black Series. This is Ponda Baba, and we're going to unbox this guy today. But before we get that far, I want to quickly spin the packaging around, let you guys take a look at it. So when you get into these Black Series, there isn't a whole lot going on with the packaging. Really, you just get a brief character description on the back, and I will go ahead and read that to you guys. Ponda Baba. A burly Oculish thug, Ponda Baba smuggled spice for Jabba the Hutt. Ponda was one of the alien barflies escaping the heat of Tatooine's twin suns when Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi visited the Mos Eisley Cantina. And of course, I'm sure most of you know this, they're referring to the scene in Episode 4, A New Hope, where Obi-Wan Kenobi cuts Ponda's arm off. And as you can see in the box here, we get extra arm accessories, and I'm sure we'll get into that here in a second. And that was where this character made his first appearance, was in A New Hope. And if you've got a sharp eye, him and his partner also made a brief cameo in Rogue One, so he has appeared in more than one film. But let's go ahead and unbox this guy and check this guy out. So, one of the things I'm already seeing off the bat that I really like about this figure is all the extra accessories. And that's one of the reasons I like the Black Series so much, is because of all the bonus accessories you get. And as a collector, I love that. So, alright, we'll check those accessories out in a second here. But let's take a close look at Ponda. And as you might have noticed in the packaging, he comes with multiple sets of hands, and these are more like flipper hands, I guess. And then you have more traditional hands, and we'll check those out here in a second, see how they interact with him. And also, you can see we have what appears to be a working holster, so that makes me happy. But let's go through his movements here real quick and see what we have. So just starting at the head here, let's see what we have here. So you got full rotation and a little up and down wiggle. So that's very cool. And then moving down to his arms here, you should have up and down. And that appears to be the extent of his up and down range. And then you have a full rotation, and elbow you have up and down, and a rotation as well. And it looks like here at the wrist you just have a rotation. And it appears to be the same on both arms. And I'm just wondering if there's going to be any differences in the arms, because as you saw in the packaging, there was an extra arm. And we'll get into that in a second. But it looks like both arms are the same. Similar articulation. Okay. And then so moving down from there, we have waist articulation, which is just a rotation. And you can see how they kind of blended it into where his belt is. And I like when they do that. It kind of hides the point of articulation a little bit. And then so going down to his legs here, you just have a pretty standard forward and backwards movement where his legs are at his hips here. And then down to the knee, you have a up and down, and there should be a rotation as well. And then looking at his ankle here, you have a rotation, and I believe okay, he does have up and down movement. It's just not a lot. So you can move his foot back and forth, and then you have a full rotation. Okay, very cool. So And so we have all these extra accessories. Let's put Ponda aside for now and check those out. So what you have here is, it looks like you have an extra set of hands, so you can swap his hands out. Then of course here's the arm with the battle damage, and you have a cup of something from the cantina, and of course his blaster. So let's go ahead and pop all that stuff out of here. Got the hands, the milk, or I'm guessing it's milk, I'm not sure, but a white liquid, the blaster, and then the 2 arm pieces. Okay, so real quick here, here's a look at the blaster. And very cool. It's got like a grayish color to it. A lot of detail in this thing. That's one of the things I always admire about these Black Series, is the amount of detail that they put in them. So then from there we have a set of hands. And as you saw, the one on the actual figure right now, they're kind of like flipper hands, and then these are more traditional hands. And you can see one of them has a trigger finger out, and one of them's kind of more of a standard open fist. And we'll see how those work here in a second. And then of course you have the glass from the cantina, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the liquid in there, or is that just a white glass, but I guess it can be whatever you want it to be. So, and you can also see, if you look in there, you can see it looks like they tried to put what appears to be a little clear liquid or something. You can see where it is. There's like a line in there. All right. And then, of course, we have the 2 arm pieces. And so, if you look, you can see that there's like a little bit of damage, and this is supposed to be where Obi-Wan cut his arm off. And just to show you a comparison here, you can see how on the arm that's in the figure, there's no line or battle damage where his arm was cut off. So let's go ahead and assemble the arm here. And so I'm assuming you're gonna snap these 2 pieces together, and there you can see, now that the arm's assembled, you can actually see the difference in them. How one has the black line on it with the little bit of scar or burn marks on it, and then you can see how the one in the figure does not have that. But so I'm assuming here that this arm is gonna pop out, so let's go ahead and do that. And I gotta be honest with you, it's making me a little nervous here, pulling on his arm, but there you go, pops right out. You can see there's just a little hole in there, and then just to compare what they look like next to each other, you can see how they're pretty much the same, other than the line and the hands. And now that I'm thinking about it, let's just go ahead and put the other hand in here as well. And you can see where at the wrist, where there's just a hole and a peg. Pretty straightforward. But there you go. Very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert it into him and see how that goes. Okay. That was pretty easy. A lot less drama than I expected. And putting it in and out, I thought there might be a little more difficult than that. But you can see you still have the articulation. You have the round and round and up and down. And very good. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and swap the other hand out, because I kind of like the more traditional hands on him a little bit better there. All right. So there you can see with the swapped out arm, and then you're going to have Obi-Wan come up and slice, and there you go. There should be an arm on the floor with a little bit of blood. But there he is, damaged. Very cool. Okay. Snap that back in. And one thing I'm noticing already, once you put the severed arm on, or the arm that can be removed, you lose the elbow articulation. It's only in the arm that's normally on the figure, and as you can see, it's not there. You have a rotation, of course. You know, you can do that, but you lose the up and down function. So let's see how he interacts with his gun here. And okay, I'm trying to get this trigger finger to line up. And that's one of the things I'm always been kind of a fan of about these Black Series, is how they put that trigger finger in there, and you can see it, how it goes right into the trigger guard. I had to guide it in a little bit, but it went in without any big deal, and you can see the finger goes right through the trigger guard, and I really like that attention to detail that they're showing on these figures. And very good. Now let's see how kind of grip he has on it. Very tight grip. He's got really good, when you move the weapon, you're moving the arm. That's what you want to see. And let's see how this blaster interacts with his other hand. And not so much. It's very loose, and as you can see, it looks a little awkward because you don't have the trigger finger. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that the gun is designed to be in the arm with the trigger finger out, or what would be his right hand. And he holds it in his other hand, but you can see it's very loose and it falls out without any problem. So what I'm assuming, or I'm going to make my best guess at, is this is the hand that is meant to hold the cup of liquid from the cantina. And yes, goes right in. Holds it just fine. Take a drink. Okay, so, and then when I'm looking at his other hand, it doesn't really look like you're gonna get this glass of liquid in here, or the cantina glass, because it looks like if you wanted to, you could force it in there, but it's just for something for an action figure to hold on to. This is actually pretty large, and I feel like if I was to shove it in there, I'm kind of forcing it, and I might break the hand or stretch it out, and I don't really want to do that. So let's just run with this hand is for holding the cup, and this hand is for holding the blaster. And before we move along here, I want to check out how this holster works, because you can see it's a little bit different. Most holsters, you know, you're going to slide in from the top, and you can see this one's like an open back holster. It's the whole back part of it's open, and there's just like a little kind of half strap there that's not connected. So let's see how this holds the gun in here. And okay, it's in there pretty good. It's not falling out, which I was kind of worried about since it's open back like that. But that's very cool. All right, so there you go. There he is with the weapon holstered up. It looks pretty good. Okay, so that appears to be all the accessories. But one of the things I want to do really quick before we go on, I want to show you guys how there is 2 sets of hands. And since we have one on the arm already, I'll show you that it's got this like cupped or flipper part to it, and it's different. So you can see there's differences in the hand. And then when you look at the other side, you know, he has the 4 fingers and the thumb on the more traditional hand. But when you look at this one, you can see it's just 3 digits sticking out. It's like 2 fingers and a thumb. And what I want to do before we move on is I want to go ahead and pull the arm out, the battle damage arm, and go ahead and put the regular arm back in. There we go. Pops right in. You can feel it stop, so that's good. And I'm going to go ahead and swap the other hand out as well, because what I want to do is see how well he holds these accessories or interacts with them with the flipper hands. So there you can see him wearing them, and I'll be honest, I like the other ones better. I think these kind of look a little goofy, but let's see how he holds this gun in each hand. So you can see he will hold the weapon. He's got a fairly tight grip on it, but it's coming out pretty easy also when I tug on it. So, but you can see what it looks like. It's kind of at a funny angle, and since there's only 3 digits, you don't have a lot of options here. And what do I want to see? I'm trying to see if I can get one of those trigger fingers in there. No, you're not. The fingers are too big to go through the trigger guard. So let's see. So he does hold it in his hand, but let's see what it looks like over here. Okay, he's got a little bit tighter grip on it. And to be honest, it looks a little... You can see it's kind of at a funny angle, but since the character has so much articulation, you can work with that a little bit. And he's got a little bit tighter grip on this side, so that's good. Alright, and then let's see which hand will hold, if he can hold the cantina glass. Oops. Popped one of the hands out here. And they go, all the removable and interchangeable hands and arms, they go together very well. Because it just popped out on me, I'm tugging on them pretty hard here, but they're going good and they're interacting good, they're staying in good, they're not coming out. And so as you can see, he will hold the milk in this hand, and be honest with you, it looks like this one might be a little bit smaller because there's a slight difference. It's kind of gonna be a little tough to see just looking at it, but if you look, this hand has got an open, a wider grip on it than this hand, so it feels like I'm gonna be forcing the milk in here if I do that. And yeah, he's holding it. So there you go. Interchangeable accessories. I love it. Alright, but as I said, I'm a fan of the more traditional hands. That's my preference here. And so I'm going to put them back in. I just think they look a little better. So, alright. And one final test. How well does he stand? Very good. Alright. And then, of course, we want to put him back with his blaster. Alright. Very cool. Alright guys, there he is from the 3 3/4 inch Black Series line. This is Ponda Baba. And thanks for watching everyone, I really appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.